Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're digging into something really interesting: how technology is starting to fundamentally change agriculture. A field we often think of as pretty traditional.
Yeah, absolutely. Farming sustained us for centuries, but those, let's say, long-standing methods, they're really struggling with modern pressures.
Exactly. We're seeing, honestly, immense waste and pretty significant losses across the board. It's a bit worrying.
It is. The inefficiencies, especially in conventional farming, are just huge. And it's not just about food, it hits our vital resources too.
Right. So our mission today is, well, first to unpack some of those big challenges, get a clear picture, and then the exciting part, explore how artificial intelligence is stepping in.
And it's not just small fixes, is it? We're talking about genuinely innovative stuff.
Totally. Real game changers. Okay, so let's start with maybe the biggest resource challenge on the planet: water.
Oh, definitely. The sheer amount of water used in traditional agriculture is kind of mind-blowing. It pulls in 70% of the world's freshwater supply.
70%. Wow.
Yeah. And here's the kicker. An equally shocking 70% of that water is just wasted.
How? How is that even possible?
Well, often it's these really outdated systems,
Mm.
like just flooding entire fields.
Yeah.
So you end up with crops that are either drowned and get diseased, or they're completely underwatered and basically
So
dying. Yeah.
a cycle of waste, totally unsustainable.
Okay, but water's not the only critical thing under pressure, right?
Right.
Let's shift gears a bit. Let's talk about bees. They're essential, but traditional beekeeping seems to be in trouble too.
Big trouble. Yeah. Beekeepers, on average, are losing something like 40% of their colonies every single year.
40%
Yeah.
annually.
Yeah.
That sounds catastrophic.
It is. And you ask, well, why? A big part of it is actually the manual hive checks.
The inspections.
Usually every couple of weeks. But opening up a hive like that, it's incredibly disruptive. You're disturbing thousands of bees.
Right.
And that disturbance can actually set back their honey production by like 2 or 3 days each time.
Wow. Okay. Didn't know that. And then there's disease detection. Things like American foul brood, which is this nasty bacterial infection. By the time a beekeeper sees the symptoms, it's often way too late.
It's already spread.
Exactly. It's already spread. Costs beekeepers billions every year.
Yeah.
When you add in losses from swarming and just unpredictable weather patterns too.
So, okay, we've got these massive challenges: water waste, bee colony collapse. Seems pretty daunting. How do we even start to fix this?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting. This is where AI comes in. It's about shifting agriculture from being, constantly reacting to
To
problems.
being predictive, smart.
Precisely. Take irrigation. You have these AI-powered sensors, maybe buried just a few inches in the soil. They're constantly monitoring moisture levels
Mhm.
in real time.
Okay.
And these systems, they use machine learning. They actually learn the exact water needs for each specific plant, the soil type, even tiny microclimates across one field.
So, super granular data.
Absolutely. Then they process weather forecasts, soil data, all of it, to deliver just the right amount of water exactly when it's needed, like down to the drop.
And the results, are they noticeable?
Oh, more than noticeable. They're profound. There was this one farm in California, they cut their water use by 90%. 90%.
90%, while still growing things.
Yep. And get this, they doubled their crop yields at the same time.
Okay, that's staggering.
It is. And another example, the Johnson farm in Nebraska. They were growing corn, went from using 40,000 gallons per acre down to just 4,000.
10 times less water.
And their corn yield went up by 30%.
Yeah.
It's so precise that even desert areas, like in Israel, are using this to grow abundant crops now.
So it's moving beyond just guesswork. It's like a data-driven plan for every single plant.
Exactly, a blueprint. It could really transform how we manage resources and feed people.
Incredible. Okay, and this AI transformation, it applies to beekeeping too, protecting those vital pollinators.
It does, yeah. The approach is just as smart. They're using things like acoustic sensors inside the hives.
Listening to the bees.
Basically, yeah. Listening for tiny changes in the hive's hum. The sound frequencies can tell you if a colony is healthy, stressed, or even show early signs of disease.
Wow. What else?
Computer vision. Cameras and AI that can actually spot tiny mites, these horrible little parasites on individual bees with like 95% accuracy.
Before they cause widespread damage.
Right. And machine learning algorithms analyzing subtle weight changes in the hive. This can actually predict a disease outbreak up to 2 weeks before a human would see any symptoms.
2 weeks early warning. That must be huge for beekeepers.
It's a complete game changer. We're hearing reports from commercial beekeepers, 60% fewer colony losses.
60% reduction.
Yeah. plus about a 25% increase in honey production and maybe a 50% cut in their labor costs because the system does so much monitoring.
That's a massive ROI.
Huge. And what's really next level is the predictive modeling, combining satellite imagery, detailed weather forecasts, even predicting when flowers will bloom.
To figure out the best place for the hives.
Exactly.
Well, optimizing where to put the hives for the best food sources and when to move them. It's proactive. Preventing losses before they happen and boosting production. It's more than just honey, you know? It's about protecting a key part of our food system.
So when you step back and look at all this, water, bees, the AI solutions, what's the big takeaway for us?
Well, I think connecting the dots shows these aren't just small tweaks. This technology, it offers like surgical precision for irrigation and this incredible predictive power for things like bee health. It tackles these huge, long-standing problems head on.
It moves us past just reacting.
Way past reacting.
It really is amazing. The tech is actually here today that could let agriculture become a real solution for things like water scarcity and food production instead of, being part of the problem. That really does change everything, doesn't it? Thinking about these approaches, what stands out most to you, the listener?